I know what you're thinking. Are you still wearing the same clothes? And the hat, you've not washed your hair. How's it not greasy? Let you into a little secret. It's only 4 minutes after the previous video. Oh, inversions. Scary, scary word. It's not really scary though. It's just playing the same notes and kind of swapping the order around. Fortunately for you, the last lesson was about harmonizing the major scale, building different triads. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. However, we're going to be inverting the order of the notes so that we sometimes have the root at the bottom, sometimes have the third, sometimes have the fifth. And it's important to be able to recognize these. One, if you're working out other people's songs. Two, if you're writing your own. Three, if you're at the pub. We're going to take a look at a major triad, and we're going to do root position, which is with the root note at the bottom. First inversion, which is going to be with the major third at the bottom, and second inversion, which is going to be with the perfect fifth at the bottom. Now, imagine that root, third, and fifth, in that order, are 3 people in a room, okay? Root, third, fifth. What we're going to do now is send the root to the back of the line and push them all up. Now the third is at the front. Then we've got the fifth, and then the root. It's kind of a good way to think about it. I explain it like that to students when they get confused and like, okay, I see what's going on here. The root's been naughty, get to the back of the line. Third takes over, right at the front. Let's play a G major triad from the low E string, fret 3. That's going to be G, B, and D. Just the bottom of a G major chord. Root, third, fifth. That's going to be root position. In order to play first inversion, we're going to need to take the major third and put that at the base of our chord now. So the order is going to go B, D, G. For second inversion, we're going to need to put the D in the base of the chord, then the G, and then the B. You might recognize some of these shapes as we go through the different inversions, obviously because they're going to come from different major chords that you may have already played. Obviously that one, like I said, is coming from E major. So when we move on to the A string, we could just do the same thing again. But let's challenge ourselves here. Let's swap it around a bit. So let's do it on the A string now, but from the note A. So root position at the 12th fret, major third, perfect fifth. Our major third was the C sharp, okay? And our perfect fifth was the E. So now we need to go and find them down here, frets 4, 2, 2. C sharp, E, A. And then I need to put the E in the bass. So E, 7th fret of the A string. And that's where the shapes come into play because they're familiar, you remember them, but obviously you need to understand what the notes are and the theory so that you can move to the right area. If I only knew the shapes, I wouldn't know where to put them. I need to know the notes. Now moving over to the D string, I'm going to do this in G again, so that's going to start from the 5th fret. Our major third, the note B, 4th fret of the G, and then the note D, our perfect fifth, 3rd fret of the B. Our root position. In order to find first inversion, well, I need to find B on this string, okay? Here's B, here's D, and here's the G again. To find the second inversion, I need to play the same 3 notes, but I need to put the D in the bass. So if you feel like you're playing a load of new shapes right now that don't bear any resemblance to anything you already know, let's take a closer look. The root position there, G. It's just the middle of a G major bar chord. Okay, what about the first inversion, this weird shape up here? Well, if I put my pinky on the 10th fret of the A, that's the root note, G. And if I slide that down to open position, it's our C shape. So doing this kind of thing would go towards the caged system, where you use C, A, G, E, D shapes to play different chords and scales. But you can also use it to kind of see where the different inversions come from, if you were to sort of like form bigger chords, if that makes sense. Okay, and this one here, G major bar chord, 10th fret of the A. Obviously that's just our A shape, isn't it? Moved up. I like to bar because I can't get my fingers in there, never could, don't like it. Unless I absolutely have to. No thanks. Okay, our last three strings, G through to E. Let's do it in the key of C. So third finger on the 5th fret of the G. That's the C. Pinky on the 5 on the B. It's our major third, the note E. And then G right at the top, our perfect 5th. Root position. So in order to find first inversion, we now need to make E the bass. And then for second inversion, we need to make the G the bass. So this time, try not to be kind of like, oh, more shapes, great, I'm going to forget them. Root position, well, it's just our C major bar chord again, the A shape, but the top three notes. This one, first inversion, top three notes of a C major bar chord. Second inversion, it's the D major shape. But in the key of C. So what I like to do to test myself is pick a key and then play all the inversions of that chord across all the different strings. Let's try it in G. So that was root position, first and second inversions, all in the key of G, going across the E, A, D, G strings in terms of where we rooted the triads to. And I was pretty snappy about it. So I'd like you to practice them, get them to the same point, so that you can use them when you're songwriting, when you're jamming, even when you're improvising. You know, you can use them to build little melodies that kind of mimic the chord progression. And that'll help you kind of, I don't know, keep your melodies in line with the chord progression. Goes back to that whole target notes thing I was talking about, root third and fifth, if you remember watching that series. Anyway, I just wanted to shed some light on that because I think it's kind of a natural progression, talking about intervals, harmonizing the major scale, and then triad inversions. Remember, they were just the major ones, so you could do the same thing with minor. Not as scary as you thought, right? If it is still scary, you're struggling, you're losing your voice like me, go and get the tab on Patreon. Like I said, chuck us a $5. It's not gonna hurt you, is it? Oh my God, I need to go before I have no voice left. Please consider supporting me on Patreon. It would mean the world to me and my family, which is Gab. Rest of my family, don't give a crap. There goes the pick. There goes me. See you soon. What are you still doing here? I've finished. Go on. Get out.